back in the lab. Let me... I have so many new tabs. Let me real quick tweet, because I am going live a little early. I will never call this App X. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to all X absolutists. Live now. Rendering and yapping. I'm gonna put my super lazy YouTube thumbnail as the picture. This was literally me making it in 3 seconds because I just wanted to go live. I love being a hobbyist YouTuber because that means I can have 0 standards. It's actually kind of great. It's actually kind of great. Let me just get my stream set up. I have my water. I'm starting a little early because I said that I would stream more today because I didn't stream Thursday. Making sure my mic was on and I wasn't just talking into a muted mic again. Water. Yummy, yummy water. Anyway, I'll talk while I work. So this is what the colored sketch looks like. I need to show you guys this kind of like better version before I turn this colored sketch off and we can see how scuffed she's looking right now because we're kind of just blocking in colors and thinking and trying to use our brains a little. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. I love being a hobbyist VTuber because that means that I can have low standards. I could have low standards. No, it's reversed. So it's the right arm that I'm looking for. Okay. What the heck even is this? Oh, this is the jewelry. Let me merge these real quick. Just real quick. Okay. I need to finish rendering the second one. I get so sidetracked. I'm so sorry. Ah. I have like a scab on my nose. Ugh. Anyway, what I was saying was that I wanted to start early because I'm getting my nails done at 2. I'm getting a manicure again. Haha. I love manicures. It's mainly because I'm like a serial nail biter. It's gross. It's disgusting. I know. So I get fake nails because if not, I will just destroy my nails. And that's that I've been manicureless for a while. Because I ended up ripping off my Hello Kitty manicure. It was tragic. It was terrible. It was a tragedy. Where is R front? I see L front, L back, R back. Where is R front? Is it an R hand maybe? Yeah, I know myself. So yeah, since I will have to get going for my nail appointment, I thought I'd try and start a little early. And if not, then I can very simply just, you know, come back and stream more when I come back. But I like this because it kind of like forces me to do my projects. If I wasn't an anime girl, I don't think I'd be so productive with my personal projects. I think I would just like do schoolwork and then that would be it, and I'd never like, and I just kind of beat myself up for having all of these like half-done live 2D projects. So I think maybe it's a little weird, but I think like committing to like having a schedule kind of just makes me more disciplined about following through with my own personal projects. But I'm really excited. I've planned out the Princess the Hopeful campaign. I have like a 6-session plan of how I want the story to go, and I'm thinking like I just love to give myself more work. It really it really is a bad habit of mine, I guess, but I was thinking about like doing another stream now that I feel better and I'm not sick. And we don't have like, because the Princess the Hopeful stream I did where I talked about the campaign, I was sick and I was kind of just yapping. So I don't know if it was very good or not. I was just like, okay, well, it's just, I like, because I had already started talking to people, to a person on Tumblr. Let's not bear false witness against myself. To a person on Tumblr who wanted to play, and I had already scheduled the stream, so even though I was feeling sick, I was kind of like, well, I'm just gonna power through and do it. Even though my mental is not all there. Just gonna power through and do it. And I think I ended up with a bit of like an incoherent stream. I'm allowed to roast myself all I want. That is actually the privilege I am afforded for being me. Turn down the opacity a little bit. Just kinda. I think I should actually do the designs first. I was thinking of making mouth sounds. I'm so sorry. I hope nobody is grossed out by the mouth sounds, but I'm trying to think and like put my thoughts into words. I was wondering if I should either go with like this brush and kind of do that, which I don't like that, or if I should do All Reliable. Let's do All Reliable. Where's my image material? No. Is it it's my color patterns? There we go. Let's do All Reliable and find a pattern. That was my mom. Hee hee. Tee hee hee. I love my mommy. Anyway, let's use All Reliable and see if we can find the pattern here. What do the Gothic roses look like? Where did I even download this from? Okay. This better not show up on my OBS because I'm 90% sure my Clip Studio uses my real name. Can you just download? There we go. We didn't have to do all that, did we? Ah! Oh, it's on perspective. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. wait. Let me stop being a girl failure for a second. Wait. Okay. Just scale/rotate for now. Let's see what this looks like. I don't really like that. I want like a fabric texture. Do I have fabric? I don't want the leopard print, although I think that is kind of... I don't curse on these streams, so I can't say the word I want to say. But it's kind of C-U-N-T-E. I don't think I like that. Maybe let's try it. I was trying to download it. Thank you. Now you let me download it. Oh, thank you so much. We can recolor them so the colors don't matter. I like... Does the Argyle transparent look like? Ah, oh my goodness. Okay. Ah! We're in the Argyle dimension. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, okay. Okay. I'm gonna start by rasterizing this. Okay. Rasterize. Clip Studio. Go away. Okay, rasterize. Go down. It might... I think this might work. I think I might actually go with this. Yes, apply the transformation, please. I just wanted to move you down to where you were supposed to go. Which is here. Okay. Ah! Oh my gosh. I'm doing so great today. I'm doing so great today. Today, my brain is really showing everybody how good she is at functioning. Oh my goodness. I say as I burp into my microphone. Ah, that's what I get for having cereal for breakfast. That's what I get. Sorry, I was taking a sip of water. Water! Oh, I've got to make sure that my Twitch chat extension is working on OBS. I'm so used to just talking to myself that I can just yap without a chat. Click to unmute. No, I will not unmute myself. No, that's just me. Perfect. Okay. I'm so used to yapping to myself that literally, like... Once my OBS little, like, Twitch chat extension that shows my chats broke, and people were talking and I had no idea. So now I'm a little, I'm gonna zoom in. And zoom, 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 zoom. It's actually a pretty good color for this. Okay. So after that, I've gotten a little... I've gotten a little paranoid about whether or not Twitch chat was actually, like, showing up. And actually updating. Yeah, okay, there we go. I like that. I actually like that quite a bit. I do think... Nope. I quite like that. Doesn't need the fabric doesn't need to be perfect. Do not like the color dodge. Do not like the divide. Let's real quick. Oops. Okay, let's go to normal and see what that looks like. Okay. What if I layer color like this lighter color? What happens? Okay, that's a little bright, and that's normal. Oh my goodness. Okay. So not that. What if we darken it a little bit? That's better. What if we darken it a little more? Okay, I think I like that. I don't know if I think the pattern is too small. Or maybe it's too obvious. Maybe if I... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I want, like, lots of different, like, patterns and textures, but I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe... Do not keep your aspect ratio, please. If I made it a little bigger, I'd find it less problematic. I do. That's the worst part. I do. Let's take off the clipping mask for a second. And just erase some of this extra stuff that we do not need right now. Let's do, like, I don't know. That much. Oh, that's a little... That much. I can always just get a new swatch of it if I erase too much. It's not the end of the world. I'm saying that for myself because I have anxiety. maybe like that size? And then just kind of round it to the shape of what the arm would be. Try to make it read a little more cylindrically. Also, I'm so sorry if you guys can hear the construction next door. It has been going crazy. They're like fixing their house. They have like some sort of structural issue. But it's been going crazy, and it has actually been triggering my PTSD like a mofo. Me and loud noises, bro. Like, especially because it's literally like right outside my room. So that's been fun. I have like lots of like noise cancellation and stuff in my OBS settings. Because if not, this is like a cheap microphone, and it kind of catches everything if I don't. If you watch like one of my earlier streams, like an earlier stream before I figured out the whole noise cancellation thing, you might be able to hear like literally every little scratch of the pen, and it was something I really had to fix immediately. I immediately was like, no, this needs to be rectified. Okay, I actually don't hate that. I don't hate that. I don't know if I like it. But I don't hate it. And that's what's important, that I don't hate it. I think I might want to redo it because, like, it looks a little crunchy. I'm probably going to regret tucking my real life bangs into here because my hair is wet. So let's do that again. Why? Why must you go all the way to the top? Okay. Thank you. My goodness. My goodness. Okay. There. And then like that. Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. Change this to scale. We're not gonna get caught in the Argyle dimension again. I think like that's the size I want. About. Then, well, I'm actually gonna control. Just gonna keep that in case I need it, so I don't need to quest. Actually, it does need to be a little smaller. Maybe even a little smaller. Ugh. Okay, like that much. Okay. Now we're gonna clip it. We're gonna clip it. That was funny. J. On the one we can actually J. Make it bigger. I think I made these too big now. Oh my goodness. Really on top of my game today. Really on top of my game today, okay. Could I please make this even smaller? Maybe make it a little bigger. I'm so indecisive. I'm like, make it smaller. No, make it bigger. No. That way, clipping mask. We're already on liquify. Just gonna go for it. Yeah. Just gonna go for it. Something like that, maybe? I don't hate that. I don't hate that. But what I'm thinking is I'm gonna make it a little more like that. So it's like a little subtler. We've got, you know, a little bit of subtlety. It's not like going crazy. It's not, you know, in your face. I can even do a little less. I actually I like it. I like it when it's less visible. It's just kind of like implied. Maybe it's just because Argyle is such like a strong pattern. I hope that's what this pattern is called. That's what that's what it's called in like the asset store. So that's why I've been calling it Argyle. I hope it's not called something different and I'm just making a fool out of myself, but would it be the first time? Would it be the first time? It would not be the first time. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. I'm gonna go. No, we are already on multiply. That. Oops. Alpha lock that. Make her bigger. I think it also needs to be bluer. I think that's too green. Yes, that's better. I think even this like brighter blue would probably be best. I do enjoy a soft shadow. I am trying like different blending methods. I don't know how much I'd like it. I think I'd rather just do a different layer. Set this as a multiply layer. Set that as normal. And then make a clipping mask like I usually do. So that I can just do my usual workflow of using the Painterly blender. I love the Painterly blender. It's been very good to me all these years I've used it. It's been very, very good to me. Perhaps. Ooh, that's a little bright. It's a little bright. Okay, my computer was just loading for a second and it scared me. I do want this to just like match with the hat. Yeah, okay. Ugh, I have an itch on my eye. Ooh. My face is itchy, 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 itchy. I do want to up that saturation a little bit. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Sometimes I don't know if I'm just like imagining things, but and we're gonna go to soft light. Grab a yellow. Go to town. No, it's hard light. Not soft light, it's hard light. There we go. I'm gonna grab an old yeller and just go to town. Just go stupid, go crazy, rah, rah. I love rendering, it's just blend, 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 blend. And really, I'm so happy to be off of Twitter right now. I don't know if it's like this news cycle, or if it's the Twitter algorithm, or hey, you know, maybe it's probably both. But I have been like, I've been pretty glued to my phone recently, which I'm actually somebody that like, I'm of the opinion that that's not good for you. So I'm a little concerned about that. But I've been like glued to my phone and kind of locked into American politics, which is always fun. I've also met lots of people who are very upset that I'm gay and Christian at the same time. From both sides of the aisle. The both sides of the aisle was truly the wackiest part to me. Because, like, I'm a former conservative Christian, okay? I was expecting the people who would quote Leviticus at me. Like, I was expecting that. I was expecting that. I was not expecting the, like, I guess it's Twitter, not Reddit. But I was not expecting the, like, Twitter atheists. The Twitter atheists who were, like, Baptist, fundamentalist Baptist 15 years ago. Who are like, did you know? You know, and then they're like, why do you hate yourself? I'm like, what? I literally had somebody be like, why do you hate yourself? I'm like, what? They're like, well, you said you're like celibate. I'm like, yes. So you're non-affirming? And I'm like, no. It was very funny to me. I think the funniest is like the woke people who are like, no. You are actually not sufficiently woke. Turn in your woke card. Man, Twitter is a great place. It's so funny to me. The internet is such a fun place. But yeah, I was not... Especially, like... It was really, like, the woke atheists being like, you're not a Christian that got me, because, like, why do you care, dog? You're not even a part of the team! Hey, from outside the club, you can't even get in! Like, what is this? Because I fully 100% expected, like, the conservative Christians being like, you're not a real Christian. I've even gotten some, like, fun gaslighting. I've gotten some fun gaslighting, too. But... But like random atheists trying to police who is and isn't Christian. Funniest freaking thing ever. But yeah, what else has happened on Twitter? I mostly just keep this stuff private because I know the reason people like that leave mean comments and say those types of things, especially to nobodies like me. Because like you guys know I have like 100 and something followers on Twitter. Like I'm not a big account. So I know people like say that type of stuff to get attention. I'm sorry I'm laughing. It's just, it's so funny to me because even when I was like an uber conservative Christian, because I had my conservative Christian arc. I've been there, repented, like I've had my conservative Christian arc. But even when I had like my conservative Christian arc, as somebody back then who was like low-key an aspiring trad wife, I fought these chronically online people who would spend all time like arguing on Twitter were just like not good husband material. Not good Christian husband material. And we're just kind of like lame. I don't know what other word to use. So it's very funny being on the other side of that and being like, wow. Even when I was brainwashed and radicalized, I still knew who to avoid. Wow. The discernment really was on 100. But it's very funny to me, and it's even funnier when they get mad that like I don't respond. Because after a certain point, like I just like don't respond. I just think it's funny. I try not to bring it up, and I try to like just ignore it because I know these people like crave attention. And that's really all they want. Crave attention, are fueled by hatred. Like, I am such a goofy goober. I did this the wrong way, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. That is actually not too terribly bad. I can keep telling myself that. So yeah, I think Twitter is a fun place. I think it really is, you know, where all the brain cells go to die, and I need to like touch grass and get off the app, but it's very funny. It's a very funny place. And it's like, I really try my hardest not to say mean things about people. But then sometimes I see a Twitter profile and like my real barometer is I go to like Twitter profiles and I look at the replies. And if they're like, if their whole thing is like, this is their hobby, maybe I'll say something a little mean. Just to get it out of my system. I know that that probably isn't like good for you. I already know that probably isn't good for you, but like, oh well. Oh well. crap, that's... Is this close enough? No. The answer was no. It's because I need to make it darker. Oh, brother. What if instead of doing this like a fool, I'm gonna lock. Do something like that. I think that works better. That's a much smarter solution. There we go. I can use my brain, guys. I didn't know you know this, but I can use my brain. So yeah, I try not to engage unless it's somebody that just says something like really cringe and stupid. And then, which I still don't think it's a good idea to really engage with people who are like, who literally their whole goal is like, I'm gonna go and just be a troll. Like, I'm gonna rage bait. And I think, you know, having discernment for when somebody is just trying to push your buttons and not have like a good conversation is, you know, good and smart, but also sometimes you just gotta get a little bit of that anger out of your system. And you gotta say something a little snippy. And that's that I'm one of the... It's also really funny because, like, for anybody who's on my Twitter, follows are not endorsements of every single opinion and thought a person has. Like, they're just not, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if you live in the delusional la la land where it is. Sorry, that sucks for you. Like, don't know what you want me to say about that. But like, I'm okay with like being friends with people who have different opinions from me. Like, that's not... I mean, I think if you're like full-blown like... I don't think XYZ group of people should have rights, and you like unironically believe that as like a real political position and not being edgy, then yeah, not cool with that. But beyond that point, pretty tolerant. So Twitter is kind of a wild place to me. I think there are plenty of people on Twitter that need, you know, to review their Hooked on Phonics. And that's their issue, that they just like can't read. Either that or they're bots, because there are so many people that's like... As somebody who really only got online after I became a VTuber, like, some of you guys on the internet, your reading comprehension is not good. I'm so sorry to say it like this, but your reading comprehension is not very strong. Excuse me. And it's like, I don't know how much of this is like people trying to make a straw man to like win an argument on the internet to feel good about themselves, which I think is a whole other issue entirely. But some of y'all... Some of you guys... Truthfully, honestly... Maybe I should shape this more like this. Some of you guys need to learn how to read. Because there comes a point where you're like arguing against your own delusions. Like I'm sure you guys have heard of that one tweet that's like, I prefer waffles, and it's like, so you hate pancakes then? I thought that was a joke. Before I became a Twitter user, I thought that was a joke. I thought surely, you know, surely people who would read something and deliberately misconstrue an argument like this to just, you know, not even a straw man at this point, just fully delusional. That looks very silly. That looks very silly, but I think this is kind of closer to the shape I want. It really is kind of amazing. I mean, it's actually really funny because, like, because it's one of those things where it's like, one part of me can't believe people used to think like that. People still think like that, and the other part of me who used to think like that is kind of like, girl, you know propaganda is one hell of a drug. Like, you know propaganda is one hell of a drug. Don't be stupid. Like, but yeah, people on that website are very gassed up by hating other people. That's kind of bad. I don't think. And that's that, like, most of my beliefs come from, like, my religious perspective. I don't think, you know, everybody has to be Christian. I don't think this isn't like a channel where I'm doing like evangelism to convert people. Well, that's a bit of a lie. I do want to convert people to being nicer, to joy maxing, to, you know, loving your neighbor and having empathy for a person, and those sorts of things. I will not be baptism farming. I don't know what else to call it. And maybe this is like an American evangelical thing, and there'll be other people from other Christian communities that are watching this that are like, Daisy, what are you talking about? And that's that I don't even consider myself like an ex-evangelical. I guess I'll talk about this a little bit. I'm actually like planning on making a whole like draw my testimony video to talk about this. But to talk about my religious history a little. Talk about my religious history a little. I got radicalized by the internet. And basically what happened, like the short version, is that I still have, but I had PTSD. I say that so pleasantly. I say that so happily. I had PTSD. It was not fun. Having CPTSD is not a fun experience. And a big part of that was, so I live in the States, and when it comes to like, trigger warning abuse mentions, let me just, put that in here. But when it comes to like persecuting actual criminals that like hurt children, the United States are not the best country for that. Not the best country for that. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. And basically what happened was, as a teenager, I basically had to walk this tightrope of being the perfect teenager and like dealing with my PTSD and like all the mental things that happen from being abused. And the reason I had to walk that tightrope is because at any moment until I turned 18, if my abuser was able to prove to the court through things like dropping grades or less extracurriculars, and dropping grades for me would be like getting C's. Like dropping grades would be, less extracurriculars would be like no longer being one of those students that was involved in like everything. Which I think making me be involved in everything was a tactic to make me more tired by my abuser, but that's a whole other story. And basically, like, what had happened at that time period was, I was trying to balance, like, going to therapy and actually dealing with my mental health with playing this part of, like, the perfect honor student, essentially. And that was extremely difficult for me. And it was this, like, terrible situation where I knew, like, essentially if I did too much therapy and if I, like, actually stopped dissociating, I would not be able to hold up the illusion. And the state would basically force me back into living with my abuser, and I didn't want that. And because I kind of, like, had to live in this state, I leaned really heavy on religion because for me it was, like, an activity that checked a lot of boxes. This is so funny to me, like, now with my view of religion now. But at the time, it was really like, well, I have to do my volunteering and I have to do my extracurriculars. And I have to, prove to the state of Florida, essentially, that my non-abusive parent is the good one. So that I don't get, sent back to what was for me like hell. So because of that, it was this, like, weird combination where it's like prayer and religion genuinely made me feel better. Like, having a relationship with God, whatever you want to call it, genuinely made me feel better. and has been very important to my mental health, will probably continue to be very important to my mental health for the rest of my life. I don't know why, but like, that's just the truth. So at that time, though, I wasn't really interested in a relationship with God so much as I was interested in appearing well. And, you know, appearing to the state like I was doing well. And because of that, I went to, you know, I got more into those sorts of like evangelical spaces where it's about like displaying your faith and like you know, pardon the joke, but baptism maxing, where there'll literally be, the churches will be like, yeah, we had this many baptisms, we're so successful. And that's like their metric for success. Like that. There we go. Okay. Aligning patterns. So for me, like, a lot of like that sort of conservative Christian radicalization didn't really come from like theology and prayer and reading the Bible and like having an actual relationship with God, but kind of just came from other people telling me this is the right way to be Christian. And me being such a desperate, overwhelmed teenager who was concerned with so much other stuff that I just didn't question it. That I was just like, okay, this is the right way to be. Okay, got it. If anything, that made, you know, that sort of like blasphemous American Catholic is what I would is what I would describe myself as now, my former self as now, that I really was one of those like low-key blasphemous conservative Catholics that, you know, mostly actually consumes like evangelical content just because it kind of like gave me clear-cut rules. And I was just so overwhelmed and stressed out. And like desperate to be safe and to be able to live separately from the person who abused me, that I didn't question it. And they gave me such like, especially because when you're in like a tough emotional place like that, you kind of want those black and white rules. You kind of, you know, because it's a lot easier to just, you know, have these black and white rules that tell you what to do and you don't have to think, than it is to actually have a functional relationship with God where you have to examine yourself and, you know, pray and repent. It's a lot easier to just be like, well, these are the groups that are icky. These are the guys you don't like and you're better than. Amen. Enjoy your faith. And, you know, I fell into that because it was A, it was easy, and B, it was popular. And when I say it was popular, I mean when you looked up, like, how to be a Christian, this is the type of stuff that would show up. And that's just kind of how they got me. And I was never really, like, a Twitter person. But I was, like, in a couple Discords just to, like, make friends. And I watched lots of YouTube videos. And I was active in, like, my real life Catholic church too. And I'm happy I got out of that. I'm really happy I got out of that way of thinking, because I don't think fundamentalist ideology leads to a fruitful relationship with God. And that's probably the nicest thing I can say about it. This is our front. Okay. Get rid of the face. Let me turn off the toggles. I had the toggles on because I was making a thumbnail. I made a really lazy thumbnail. And it's one of those things with, like, with what's going on in the United States and, like, trans people potentially being declared as terrorists for literally just saying, like, trans rights. Like, if you think trans people should have rights, that's terrorism, apparently. That I'm grateful that I was led out of that way of thinking. It's actually, I don't know if funny is the right word. But it's actually kind of funny because one of the major things that made me leave that way of thinking after I was safe, because once I turned 18 and I was safe and the state, you know, couldn't make me stay with that guy, like, I actually started, like, evaluating my relationship with God and not just, like, doing what people told me. I was finally in the headspace where I could do that. And excuse me. And one of the things that led me out of that was actually the treatment of trans people. Because at this point in time, to make things explicitly clear, because I don't want to make myself sound like some sort of great trans ally when I truly was not. I believed all the transphobic talking points. If you don't know, or I believed this sort of, like, it's not sort of, it is. The transphobic narrative that trans people are essentially, and this is transphobic, this is wrong, I don't believe this anymore. But this narrative that trans people are essentially people who are mentally ill who have been deceived into permanently altering their bodies by their doctor. And I don't know if that's still the conservative Christian narrative. But that was the conservative Christian narrative when I was in those spaces. And I believed that fully. And the issue with that, and maybe that's why they changed up the narrative, but the issue with that is that's a narrative that, you know, I think creates, if nothing else, empathy. So, for me, at that point in time, I was kind of, you know, I was still very transphobic, yes. Like, no getting around that one. But, like, I wouldn't have considered myself transphobic. Like, at that point in my life, if you were like, don't you think that, like what you're saying is discriminatory against trans people? Like, I would have been like, no. But I also had, like, a very deep empathy for trans people. And I do now, although now it's a different type of empathy. Because there aren't any sort of, like, wacky religious conditions on it. But back then, I fully believed the narrative that trans people were mentally ill and were essentially, being deceived by medical professionals into altering their bodies forever. And at that time, like, even though I was very, very extremely transphobic, I also, like, was the type of person that, like, I would not tolerate any of those suicide jokes. Hey, Senko! I'm just yapping. I was giving lore because I was yapping and giving lore. It's fine. Ooh! That's because that's on hard mix. I need hard light. It's okay. People got lives. We're busy. I'm rendering and yapping. Yeah, real life's been kind of busy for me too. How are you? I was just rendering and giving, like, Daisy lore. I was giving the Daisy lore of how I left conservative Christianity, which is always a fun one. And I'm rendering this guy. I don't need that Argyle for this, I don't think. On the D&D. Definitely didn't forget the name. It's Princess the Hopeful. It's okay, you can forget the name. Yes, I've been working hard. Where's my hat? Where's the hat? Wait, let me... Face, brim back. L, front, back, torso. Where is it? I didn't delete my hat layer, right? Did I delete my hat layer? Oh no. Oh no. Where is it? Please don't tell me I deleted it. If I deleted it, I'm genuinely gonna be so sad. I think I deleted it. I don't see it. I will. Okay, let's find my hat. Find my hat. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Can I just open another version of this? Or did I save over it? Okay, I saved 10 minutes ago. Is it gonna open another copy or no? Did I seriously lose my hat? I can't believe this. This is tragic. Can I control... How much can I control Z? Can I control Z till I get my hat back? Maybe? Where is my hat? Where the heck did my hat go? Oh! No! Here he is. He's back. I have a hat back. Okay. I'm gonna save it now. Now that I have my hat back. Oh my gosh. That scared me. Okay. Let's hide the hat. Now I've got to do the torso again. Okay. Let's merge these. No, this way. Merge these. Merge selected layers. Ugh. Whoa. That was so funny. Okay. Well, it was funny because I got my hat back. If I didn't get my hat back, it probably wouldn't have been as funny. Okay, let's do the torso again. Take 2. Oh, wait, let's make the brim first. The brim. The frame. Okay. I'm just gonna call it green. It goes under the wood. And this is gonna be the frame. That was so funny. You know, I know I'm a girl failure. But that was peak Daisy performance right there. That was that was peak Daisy performance. Oh my goodness. Anyway, what I was saying. So what I was saying is that, like, for me as like a mentally ill person, that sort of transphobic narrative really tugged on my heartstrings. And one of the main reason I had like left those more conservative spaces was because of how they talked about trans people. And I just didn't think that was cool. Like, and I was still like fully transphobic, fully it's a mental illness, fully. But I left those spaces because I was like, well, I don't think you should be celebrating, you know, sewer slide. I don't think you should be celebrating kids losing their lives because you bullied them so hard. Like, I don't think that is a cause for celebration. And that kind of got me kicked out of those like more conservative communities, online communities I was in. And at the time I was like really upset about it because I was all like, oh, how could these people who are for free speech, you know, didn't realize how hypocritical they were at the time. But I was kind of just like, how could these people that are, you know, so pro free speech kick me out because I said something they didn't like? And it wasn't even like it was still fully transphobic, like the things I was saying. I'm not gonna repeat them, but it was like not good things I was saying back then to make this argument. And it was still too woke for them, and it's still still got me kicked out of that group. And now I'm like glad for it, because if not, I would not have had like character growth. And then like doctrinally, I changed because at that point, one of the things about like being in those really conservative Christian spaces that, you know, it seems normal when you're in it, especially because it's framed as like guarding, you know, as like discipleship and like guarding the things you see. But one of the things about conservative Christian spaces is that you weren't really like, you were allowed to engage with like atheists without, you know, a conservative commentary. You'd have those too, of course, but when it came very specifically to progressive Christians, to the evil, terrible wolves in sheep's clothing, like, it was very commonly understood that you like would not listen to what those people would have to say without like some sort of conservative editorializing over top of it. And that was never like a hard and fast rule, but it was kind of like the general understanding that you didn't do that. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry for burping so much. So it was only like later, after I had kind of gotten kicked out, that I was kind of like, well, why don't I look at, you know, these progressive Christians that are supposedly, you know, evil and doing the devil's work, and see what they have to say about all of this. And so I did, and was pleasantly surprised. And, you know, learned that a lot of it was just more concerned with, like, following Jesus and culture war stuff. And I kind of was full-blown like, yeah, this is the brand of Christianity I want. More of this, please. And I think, like, especially in relation to being celibate, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but let me finish my thoughts, and then I'll go to the bathroom. But I think especially, like, in relation to being celibate, I think becoming a progressive, I don't even like the term progressive Christian, to be honest. I just don't know what other term to really put there. I would like to simply call myself Christian and let that be that. And, you know, I would like to live in a world where the default implication of Christian is somebody who is concerned with loving their neighbors, but we do not live in that world, unfortunately. So I have to make distinctions like progressive. Anyway, for me, finding that sort of faith where I think I can get rid of this Argyle. I don't need it anymore. Where like LGBTQ people were accepted. It also really helped me with like my journey of celibacy and like being a volcel, which means being voluntarily celibate. Because like before, when I was Catholic, the Catholic Church is side B. If you don't know what that means, there are 4 sides to how Christians theologically view gay people, essentially. The LGBTQ community. So there's side A, which is affirming, which is the types of church where gay people can get married and there's no issue. Being gay isn't a sin, none of that. There's side B, which is what the Catholic Church is, which is basically you can be gay. There's nothing sinful about the state of being a homosexual or a transgender person, but you cannot act on those urges, and that's what I was for a very long time. Now I'm side A. Then there's side X and side Y, which I think are the same thing with just like a semantic difference, like just like a difference in how it is viewed. But these are the guys that like do conversion therapy, side X and side Y. They talk about it a little differently, and conversion therapy is a lot rarer in side Y spaces than in side X spaces, but they both are concerned with, they both are not anti-conversion therapy, so to me the distinction is kind of irrelevant because practically they're both pro-conversion therapy. So side X and side Y. And being a side B Christian, side B lesbian means that you have to be celibate. You don't have any other option. You can't even think about getting married. You gotta be celibate. That's your only choice. And that like wasn't very healthy for me. That just led to a lot of like shame and self-hatred, and I didn't like being celibate. You know, it truly felt like that old tightrope that I was talking about earlier, but instead of with the court system and my abuser, it was with God himself. And at that point in time, I didn't like being celibate at all. And, you know, then when I became affirming, when I became type A, and I was like exploring my faith and praying, I got really into bridal mysticism, and I still am very into bridal mysticism. And you know, somewhere along the line, I decided that actually being celibate of my own volition, not because I'm afraid of hell, but because I want to be married to God, was very freeing. And it's very funny to me that I'm better at being celibate now as an affirming Christian than I ever was as a side B Christian. Okay. Wonder. Wondering. So yeah. Okay. Let's see, is this still my bathroom break? Yeah, haha, it is. I'm gonna go take a little bathroom break. Okay, I'm back. Take off my bathroom break. There we go. Is now a good time to confess that I think I'm actually, like, kind of bad at fabric? Is this a good time to confess that? Okay. Blend. Blend. Glorious blending. Okay. I think that's good enough. I think that's good enough. Oh goodness, and I have to do the other side too. Okay. Hat drape. I wonder. Nah. What about, do I have a lace pattern? I have you. I think that's a little, what if I make it bigger? Will that be less dense? Maybe. Why is Control Z not working suddenly? Okay. Whatever. What? Why do my hotkeys not work with this brush? Do they work with... Huh? Why do none of my hotkeys work? Does my keyboard work? Did my keyboard run out of battery? Oh no, that's bad. Okay, I think my keyboard ran out of battery. Oh shoot. Oh my gosh, it did. It did. Oh, wait, seriously? Wait, seriously? Yeah, it's on. My gosh, seriously? It ran out of battery. Oh no. Oh. No more hotkeys. No more hotkeys for Daisy. I said I would stream for longer, but I might stop because drawing with no more hotkeys is inhumane! Freaking nothing because there's no hotkeys! There's no undo, there are no buttons! What the heck? Is my luck just bad today? Oh my gosh. This is terrible. I keep trying to control Z, but my keyboard doesn't have any batteries! Oh my gosh. I can't control Z that. Okay, let's just grab this. Let's just do that. No control Z is rough. No control Z is so rough. Oh my gosh. No. Lighten. I'm just gonna make it very, very... No, I want glow. I think the glow looks better if I just make it very subtle. And I can't press J. Is that it? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, guys. I can't believe this. I can't believe my keyboard's dead. I'm gonna end stream because my keyboard's dead. Let's take pictures. Let's take pictures, okay? Okay. Or should I just file export as JPEG? But I don't want to. I want to take screenshots. Okay, let's take some screenshots. Let's save. Let's take some screenshots. Let's screen shoot. Let's screen shoot our guy. Oh! Oh, he looks so good. Oh! Oh, I love him so much. Okay. I can't type anything because my keyboard's dead. I can't type anything. Oh my gosh, okay. I'll figure this out. I'll figure this out, guys. I am gonna end stream here. Thank you so much for joining me in the lab. I have been Daisy Whoops. I forgot to introduce myself in this stream. Ah! Today's been going great. I am Daisy Whoops. I'm your favorite mad scientist VTuber, experimenting, doing art, making her keyboard die. I don't know what else I do. You have been in the lab. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked my yappy yappa. I hope to see you next time. I stream Tuesdays 6:30 EST, Thursday 6:30 EST, and Saturdays at noon, or maybe earlier if I have things to do. I was planning on streaming more, but my keyboard's dead, and I need to fix that. Maybe I'll stream after I get my nails done. Money, hi! Oh my gosh. I was literally ending because my keyboard died, but hi. My keyboard died and I have no hotkeys. Or should I get a battery? But hi, money. It's nice to see you. I have no hotkeys. My keyboard died. I can't even tweet because my keyboard died. It's always my luck. It's always my luck. I'm like, I'm gonna end stream! And somebody else chats. Every single time. Okay, let me take pictures for Twitter, and then I'm gonna end stream. I'm gonna take it in the most scuffed way because my keyboard's dead. Wait, okay, toggle face, turn that on. So these are the different faces I have for my rendered Storyteller model. This is a Storyteller for designed for World of Darkness games, if you know what that is. Designed specifically for Princess the Hopeful, my Princess the Hopeful campaign, recruiting players. Ooh, you should DM me. Sorry, I had to do some magical girl propaganda. I'm gonna just call this PTH. Oh no, I have no keyboard, so I can't call it anything. I can't call that folder anything. I was like, why isn't it working? So yes, we have that toggle. We have the bug toggle. I'm gonna save it. I have to do everything with a mouse, like a pleb. Like a pleb. I can't even take a screenshot. I've gotta do this. Washers! I don't know what that is. Is that like a little boo-boo spinning around? What is that? Oh no, it's a Miru. The little... In my two, like... I've talked about my 2-pixel OBS before. My 2-pixel OBS, it looks like a Labubu. I saw this thing on Twitter that was like... It was like this like Spanish protest against Labubus. When people were like, when people thought that the Labubu was the devil or whatever was going on the internet that day. And one lady had a sign that called him the Diablo Blue. And I thought that was really funny. I can't believe I have to do screenshots like this. I feel like such a boomer right now. I love that cry toggle. I can't wait till I paint over these toggles, but I cannot deal with Clip Studio Paint without Control Z. Okay. We have creepy happy face. Save it. I can't even rename them. This sucks. Okay. And then my favorite toggle. This one's my favorite toggle. I think it's so funny. I do want to keep it lopsided for the final version. But that's all you got from me. I have no keyboard now. My keyboard died. I don't know if you want to read me, if you want me to read you out. I don't really have anybody I'm following that's live. So I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna read you out. I'm so sorry, Money. I'm so sorry. But that's been all from me. Thank you for hanging out with me in the lab. More live 2D rendering to prep for live 2D Tuesday. At 6:30 EST. I hope to see you there. This has been Daisy Whoops. Thank you for watching. As always, I will see you next time. Bye bye!